Now, remember earlier I was telling you guys on my live stream, that was probably, I don't know when this video gonna come out. Maybe it'll come out today. Maybe I'll release this at 8. But earlier today I was telling y'all, I said, hey, you left this. I said, y'all sitting around here clapping and celebrating. Yeah, Don going, we want to see Donald Trump down. I told y'all, I said, man, y'all not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're nowhere near ready for what comes with civil war. And how it's all going to go down out here in these streets. And so I'm just clicking through doing research. And again, my supervisor spirit says, hey, go right there and click that. So I go over there and I click it. I'm like skimming through it. And he said, I want you to read this. And so I'm going to read to you what I found on Judicial Watch about credible threats to the power grid in the United States of America. Credible threats to the power grid of the United States of America. I'm going to repeat it again. Credible threats to the power grid of the United States of America. People say, well, James, why you repeat yourself 3 times? That way I make sure you hear what the hell I'm trying to say to you. Credible threats to the power grid of the United States of America. And so this is them doing a public record request and to find out what's going on. And watch this. A FOIA request. Watch this. Good afternoon. In light of both recent and upcoming events, the EISAC requests any unclassified information from DHS, CISA that may be shared with utility members in the U.S. and Canada on the following questions. As a follow-up to the recent incident in Nashville, do you have any credible intelligence regarding threats or risks to the electricity industry in connection with 5G? In preparation for the upcoming electoral college count on January 6th in Washington, D.C., do you have any credible intelligence threats, risks for the electricity industry, including any DVE threats of power? All right. Watch this. Threat number 1. Someone named Sadoko Poker. The individual describes themselves as an armchair revolutionary. A scan of their Twitter page found the following 2 threads which contain threatening information. Stop, pause, do the beanie weenie. I need you to stop, pause, and do the beanie weenie. You doing the beanie weenie? Oh, if y'all don't know what the beanie weenie is, I want you to just go to YouTube and type in do the beanie weenie New Orleans. DJ Jubilee. All right. Now, here's what everybody on the left expects us to believe. They expect us to believe that the guy who went and took a shot at Donald Trump today, that the government didn't know nothing about it at all. That is fake. But we right here are seeing where the government is tracking these people who on Twitter saying crazy stuff. And I don't think this is recent. I think this might be old. Let me go back. Let me see. This says 2023 NFPO. So that's 2023. It's old, but it ain't super old. Watch this. The individual describes themselves as armchair revolutionaries. A scan of their Twitter page found the following 2 threads, which contain threatening information. I was not able to determine their exact philosophy or affiliation. They referenced arguing with racists, but also shared potentially racist memes. Theme A, retweeted another person's thread, Bleepy Man. That thread is also attached and describes more before, but essentially points out that bringing down 9 substations would cause societal collapse. Thread B mentions taking down the power grid and blaming Antifa as a false flag operation. It is unclear on behalf of whom, but yeah, I take this to mean that they are not Antifa aligned. Thread also seems specifically anti-government and possibly pro-white race. Bleepy Man, not sure exactly this individual's philosophy or affiliation. Seems to dislike left and right. Seems to spend a fair amount of time on race. So this is what they released, right? There are, and I'll explain why. No, I'll explain afterward. There was one main thread which split into 2 parts, which different people commented on. So I labeled those A and B, and a number of them in order, since they wouldn't fit in one page. Responding to a video describing the grid as very fragile, aging infrastructure, and citing 2014 FERC study saying taking out 9 substations could cause nationwide blackout. Then ties to Metcalf. People pointed out that this is akin to terrorism talk. Threat of arrest. Noted a historical attack on French nuclear facility in 1982. Communist group attack plant in construction with 5 anti-tank rockets. Article and screenshot. Note that all electrical grids are unprotected and the comms are also vulnerable. Vague threat against 9 substations. Couched as joke. A couple of supportive comments based death to America. Stop giving me ideas, LOL. White piled again. These are the, in air quotes, what was said. Thread B, focus on how to damage substations. Identifies cooling systems on transformers and suggests rifles using, I don't know, whatever for rifles. Same references to Metcalf from above, 1984 reference picture. Discussion on euphemisms for rifles. So ladies, there are, and gentlemen, there are people right now within the United States who I would call anarchists that are willing to do whatever they could do to take down the power grid under the existing circumstances. And I'm going to go a step further. If via FOIA requests, this is what they're willing to reveal to you via FOIA request, which is basically a request for information. You can only imagine what they really have behind closed doors. And when you factor in the fact that we have a deep state that we've witnessed them use, weaponize, and arm crazy people like this, you need to understand that in a situation where Donald Trump was assassinated, or even if he wins the election, any one of these people could be arrested for terroristic threats. Like the FBI can knock on the door, boom, 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 boom. We got where you've been making terroristic threats, and then they could turn them to a CI. They can flip them and say, "No, man, either you gonna work with us or you going to prison." And then they can wind them up and they go hit the power grid, and then it'd be the little Patsy. You just saw one yesterday. Nobody don't act like that, but you just saw one yesterday. And so, the blueprint, you've seen it play out over and over and over again. What you don't want is this to play out in an environment where your power grid goes down, or in this case, they can say these guys are white nationals and they target a minority community, but being aware of the fact that they have eyes on everybody, including you. There's videos all over Twitter in America where the FBI is pulling up to people's houses and questioning Americans about the posts that they made on Facebook and on Twitter. Like, yeah, you know, my name is Officer such and such, and we want to talk to you about your post. And people are like, I ain't talking about nothing. Or you aware, what's your name? Can we get your identification? I ain't giving you nothing. Go look it up. And this is, Kamala ain't even in office yet. She ain't even made it in office yet. Tim Walz ain't even in office yet. That's all I'm saying to you, bro. It's popping off, then people win. It's popping off. It's going to pop off if Don Head get bust. And it's going to pop off if them people win. It's still probably going to pop off when Don win. If he can win with all the voter fraud. In fact, bro, it's just popping. It's popping everywhere. It's just popping.